May I invite to the podium the hard-working Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Honorable Dan Kweku-Botwe MP, for his comments.
Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Vice President, Honorable Chief of Staff, Honorable Senior Minister, Nana Chairman, Honorable Members of the Council of State, colleague ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, Honorable MMDCs, the Chairman, Justice Bobe, and members of the Commission of Inquiry, Nana Akufo-Addo Otekle, the 6th President of Volta Regional House of Chiefs and Paramount Chief of Lepe Traditional Area, the leader of the delegation of Oti movement, Nana Emperor Besemuna III, Omahin of Krachi Traditional Area, our revered clergy, our revered chiefs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th constitutional instrument His Excellency the President is about to give to the chiefs and people from Oti. From Tuesday, Wednesday, today, we had the privilege of seeing Mr. President perform this historic task. Mr. President, on the 6th of June, 2017, a petition was sent to you by the Joint Consultative Committee of the Chiefs and People of the proposed Oti region. Mr. President, I read, I'm directed by the Joint Consultative Committee of the Chiefs and People of the northern part of the Volta region to present to you the attached petition for your kind consideration. Attached to the petition, which is the 5th of its kind from the petitioners to governments, is a report on the proceedings of the first conference held at Isuta, where the chiefs and people resolved to formally present a fresh petition under your presidency. So, Mr. President, they said this was the 5th. In the appendix, Appendix A, Your Excellency, is a letter written to the Chairman, Presidential Commission, and Council of State, the Castle Osu, care of Office of the Omahin, P.O. Box 12, Borada, July 1970. The Prime Minister, Right Honorable Dr. K.A. Buzia, the Castle Osu, said, petition of the chiefs and people of Buem, Akan, and Krachi districts of the Volta region for a separate region. The humble petition of the chiefs and people of Buem, Krachi districts to the Presidential Commission, the Council of State, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Dr. K.A. Buzia, under Article 4 of the Constitution of the Ghana, Republic of Ghana, respectively shows the proposed region comprises the people of Nkonya, Central Kofi, Lolobi, Lipe, Akpafus, Boris, Akans, Buems, Kraches, and other ethnic groupings united by community of interest, born out of long years of association, being members of the 2 district councils in the present Volta region. Mr. President, they gave the history from 1890, when Reverend Nicholas Clark brought Christian religion to Gold Coast into their area. They went ahead and talked about education, the population, customs, and usages. And then at that time in 1970, justified July 1970, made a strong case why they needed a separate region. If my arithmetic is right, that should be some 49 years ago. So, Mr. President, you received the 5th petition, the first being the one from 1970. Let me irritate, Mr. President, that the Joint Committee of the OT movement is one of the most organized committee members of the 6 people who petitioned. We receive other petitions, all right, but this is the volume of petitions we receive from the OT movement. And they all know that it will be very right and appropriate that at this juncture, I pay tribute to the memory of Dr. Akufo-Addo, who was the secretary, very hard-working person, but who unfortunately did not live to see this day. I hope and pray that one day, either in the Regional House of Chiefs of OT region, somewhere in the conference room, there'll be something to remember him. Since, Your Excellency, this is the last of the program we are performing today, I want to take advantage and remind all of us that in the 1992 Constitution, when a region is formed, this is not exhaustive, but when a region is formed, in Article 86, you have National Development Planning Commission, in which there will be a representative from each region of Ghana appointed by Regional Coordinating Council, a representative. In Article 89, 2C, Council of State, one representative from each region of Ghana will be elected to become a member of the Council of State. In Article 204, there's a regional police committee. Again, a representative from each region will be elected from the district assembly and again from the regional House of Chiefs. In Article 209, there will be a regional prisons council. Again, there will be a lawyer practicing in the region nominated by the Ghana Bar Association. There will be a regional director of social welfare, a representative of the regional House of Chiefs, and representatives of religious bodies in the region. There will be a regional coordinating council in which presiding member and the DC and two chiefs from the regional House of Chiefs will also be members of the regional coordinating council. There will be a land commission and there will be a rep of the regional House of Chiefs. And then there will be a national House of Chiefs, Article 271. And that 5 paramount chiefs will be elected to become members of the National House of Chiefs. And Article 271(3) states, where in a region there are fewer than 5 paramount chiefs, the House of Chiefs of the region shall elect such number of divisional chiefs as shall make up the required representation of the chiefs of the region into the National House of Chiefs. So please, when Mr. President says projects and the equitable distribution, not only physical projects, but there will be adequate representation of all people across the region into all such government structures in the country as enshrined in our Constitution. So it is important. In the Presby hymn, they talk, they are 34 share, the only pay, and then enya abamu. And this applies to at least the chiefs and people from OT. If you petitioned Prime Minister Buzia in July 1970, and for all this time, in the 5th petition to Nana Akufo-Addo, you are about to receive your CI. So you see, when I talk about courage, I was not exaggerating when I said it on Tuesday. A friend reminded me that in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, even when God had chosen Joshua to replace Moses, and he has said in verse 3 that wherever you step, I will give it unto you. Even when God has told Joshua directly that. In the first 10 verses of, or 3 verses just after that, on 3 occasions, God told Joshua again, be bold and of good courage. So you see, even when God has given you everything, there's still that ingredient that I talked about on Tuesday, that executive courage is needed to bring God's will into fruition. Verse 6, he said, be bold and good courage. Verse 7, he says, strong and be very courageous. So after all that promise, the importance of the exercise of executive courage is what has brought us today. So that from the first petition of July 1970, on the 15th of February 2019, the dreams and the wishes of our people are about to come true. In any case, what are we supposed to do in politics? What are we supposed to do in politics? We are in politics for purpose, to do deep things. And that's what President Nana Akufo-Addo has done. Thank you very much.
And that is what Nana Akufo-Addo has done. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development. Your Excellency, may I particularly acknowledge now Honorable Michael Jato, Honorable Member of Parliament for the Karachi East constituency, the Lone Ranger and Deputy Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources. Your Excellency, at this juncture, may I have your indulgence to invite to the podium the President of the Joint Consultative Committee of the OT Movement, the Venerable Krachura Nana Impram Besimuna III, Paramount Chief of the Karachi Traditional Area, to give us his remarks.
Your Excellency, Nana Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the Vice President of Ghana, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Ministers of State, members of the Council of State, members of the Commission of Inquiry, Nananom, members of the Joint Consultative Committee of the OT movement, honorable MPs, MCEs, heads of public departments and agencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media, citizens and friends of OT region, fellow Ghanaians. Today, Friday, the 15th day of February, 2019, marks a turning point in the lives of Nananom and people of OT region. It is a special day that transforms our long-cherished dreams into reality. Whilst 27 December 2018, the day of the referendum, marked the birth of OT region, today symbolizes the naming ceremony whereby OT region is formally admitted into the family of regions of Ghana. Historical journey. The journey of the creation of OT region, which spans over 50 years, has been very tortuous and tedious. On December 8, 1952, the Buemkrachi district, being part of the then Trust Territory of the British Togoland, was constituted with Jaskan as the administrative capital. This administrative area stretched from Central Kofi, Likpe, Lolobi, and Akpafo up north to Nkwanta and Karachi. In 1956, a plebiscite was held under the supervision of the United Nations for the people in the Trust Territory of British Togoland to decide whether to stay on their own as a state or join the then Gold Coast or the territory of French Togoland. Mr. President, it is a well-documented, undisputed historical fact that it was mainly the votes from the people of the former Buemkrachi district, together with the votes of our northern neighbors from Mamprugu, that got the former Trust Territory of British Togoland to join the then Gold Coast to form the present Republic of Ghana as a unitary state on 6 March 1957. Subsequently, the northern portion of the Trust Territory of British Togoland, comprising Yendi and the north of Dagbon, covering Mamprusi lands, were hived off to join the northern region. Anglo, Tongu, and Peki lands were also hived off the eastern province of the Gold Coast to join the remaining territory of the former British Togoland to form the Volta region of Ghana. Unfortunately, the achievement of the objects that motivated the people of the then Buemkrachi district to vote massively to join the Gold Coast to form Ghana started to elude us right from independence. Our people suffered and continue to suffer deprivation. There has been tangible and consistent development inequity between the southern part and the northern part, i.e. formerly Buemkrachi district of the Volta region. Consequently, the people of the northern part of the Volta region decided to petition successive governments of Ghana for a separate region called OT region, to bring governance closer to the people to ensure rapid socioeconomic development. The current petition to Your Excellency, the President, is the 5th petition, as already said, presented to successive governments over the years. Your Excellency, you have clearly distinguished yourself by accepting our petition, among others, and proceeding with tenacity of purpose to ensure the full realization of our dreams. Mr. President, you have indeed walked the talk by setting up and resourcing the Commission of Inquiry, whose hard work resulted in the positive recommendation to create 6 additional regions, including our dear OT region, resourcing the Electoral Commission to undertake a very successful referendum on the 27th of December 2018, which has culminated in the induction of the 6 regions as the final step. We are eternally grateful to you, Your Excellency. You have made history, and you deserve the accolade Kantamanto and Osiadio. Aiko. Your Excellency, the creation of the 6 new regions by your government is an enviable additional notch to your collection of historic achievements, including the introduction of the free SHS program, the One District, One Factory industrialization scheme, and the final and conclusive resolution of the long-standing Dagbon chieftaincy dispute. We recall the heightened tension preceding the referendum and the fear of the outbreak of violence as a result of the needless beating of war drums by our detractors and persons actively opposed to the creation of the OT region. Even though 6 new regions were being created, curiously, it was only OT which was in the news, and for the bad reasons. By the grace of the Almighty God, the tenacity and tolerance of the OT people, and the professionalism of the security agencies, we have managed to turn the threats into opportunities and proudly return an overwhelming 98.64% of yes votes in the referendum. We have preserved the peace in OT region before, during, and after the referendum. We want to assure Mr. President and the whole nation that in spite of the substantial ethnic diversity in the area, the people of OT are fully committed to deepening their efforts at social and political integration across the entire region. At this stage, we wish to mention and express our profound gratitude to the following. All our predecessors, many of whom have passed on to glory, for initiating the OT dream for a separate region. We recall with sadness the recent demise of Dr. Kweku Adia, our former secretary and spokesperson, who displayed total commitment and made major sacrifices to our cause. We also wish to thank all members of Justice Alambrobe Commission of Inquiry for their hard work and sacrifice by traveling the deplorable roads in the OT region to hear at first hand the concerns and challenges of the people and effectively communicating them to the government. Of course, we want to thank the Minister of Regional Reorganization and Development, Honorable Daniel Kwaku Boche, his deputy and staff for always keeping their doors open to us and taking a special interest in the OT region. Then, we also wish to say a special thank you to the Volta Regional Minister, Honorable Dr. Ashibol Lecha, for displaying extreme courage in the face of threats to his life and family, and also being very principled in all matters relating to the creation of the OT region. Nananum have accordingly conferred a traditional title on him. He is now known in OT as Nana Oti Lecha the First. And Goswahini of OT region. We also want to say a special thank you to members of the Tongu Youth Association for Development, a youth group from the Southern Volta, for their active campaign in support of the OT project, as well as the notable individuals like Madam Elizabeth Ohene, Mr. Prosper Adamale, Professor Agbasi Nyale and Togbi Nyameko Glakpe, leader of the Ade Council of Chiefs, and a few others for their principled stance in favor of the OT region. We wish to say thank you to the security agencies for the display of commitment and professionalism in the performance of their work, which ensured a peaceful referendum. All well wishes, both in Ghana and the diaspora, for the palpable show of support for and goodwill towards the OT project. Finally, we wish to thank even our detractors whose propaganda activities failed to achieve their intended adverse effects, but rather, ironically, contributed to making OT a very popular region even before his death. Expectations from the OT, the creating of the OT region. OT region was and is still noted for contributing immensely to the economy of Ghana through the production of food crops, cattle, cocoa, coffee, and high-quality timber products. There are also a range of mineral deposits in the OT area as indicated on existing geological maps of the country. As stated earlier, notwithstanding its immense contribution to the national economy, the OT region has suffered and continues to suffer deprivation. It is our passionate expectation that the creation of OT region will deepen decentralization with all the related benefits in terms of governance, including injection of more resources into the area for accelerated development, creation of jobs, the coordination of development programs more effectively and efficiently, as well as reducing drastically our travel time to our new regional capital. It is our understanding that regardless of where the capital is located, government development policy for the 6 new regions, and for that matter, OT region, is to spread development as well as the siting of the head offices of government departments and agencies across the entire region to ensure equity.
Thank you.
This policy is very consistent with the aspirations of Nananom, JCC's members, and the people of OT region. In the interim, there are 2 pressing common problems which we always talk about, namely the bad roads and water situation, which are paramount concerns to the people of the OT region. We wish to avail ourselves the opportunity presented by this induction ceremony to humbly and passionately appeal to you, Mr. President, to, as a matter of urgency, address these problems, especially the reactivation and completion of construction works on major roads which have stalled. We wish to inform Your Excellency that Nananom and members of the JCC intend to continue to play a very active and meaningful role in the development of OT region. Our scope of operations will be substantially private sector driven, but we shall collaborate effectively where appropriate with government, public departments, and agencies. A policy document and strategic plan which essentially will position OT region as an attractive business destination for both local and international investors are being developed for the purpose and will be commissioned after the necessary consultations have been done. Your Excellency, may I therefore use this opportunity to thank the leadership and members of the Joint Consultative Council, that is the JCC of the OT movement, for their great sacrifices in taking the lead to represent and mobilize Nananom and the people of Oti during all the processes that have resulted in the creation of Oti region. Mr. President, we want to assure you that our people, regardless of party colors, religious affiliation, and tribal background, are prepared and stand ready to work with your government and all other relevant institutions to ensure that Oti region is properly nurtured into a very vibrant and self-sustaining modern region in Ghana. In bringing my address to a close, may I pray the Almighty God to grant Mr. President and your government good health, long life, and wisdom to carry your great agenda of transforming Ghana beyond aid. Ghana, where all able-bodied men and women who want to work hard have work to do. Ghana, where governance is brought to the doorsteps of the citizenry. And Ghana, where there is peace and development for all. May God bless our homeland Ghana and all our people. Thank you.
One minute, Seprewa shall herald the arrival of His Excellency the President. 1 minute, Seprewa.
1 minute. Anamemo akwaba. Yamame minute simaba compare. Odene ho bekasa. Nana Akufo-Addo. Okuma enene bekasa. After some theatre, Madame Oti, Regina, sir. Sabibia Bacoso or Abrabomua, Yanni Yaman Cabom. Bibia Baconso or Abrabomua, Ayane Yama or door, and no mammy and no Panamedemamo, Monomo. I had to do a moon. I had a young Coswabeba, Nana Castle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here, and to do us the honors, I crave your indulgence. Let us remain silent and listen to the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo.
Eminent clergy, Vice President, Chairperson and members of the Council of State, Chief of Staff in the Office of the President, Senior Minister, Minister for Regional Reorganization and Development, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Minister for Energy, Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Volta Regional Minister and his deputy, members of Parliament, Chairperson and members of the Bureau Commission, the President of the Volta Region House of Chiefs, Paramount Chief of Likwe, traditional part of the Volta region, And in my interaction with the chiefs and people, one request resonated amongst all the others, and that was the demand for the creation of their own region. Indeed, to demonstrate our commitment to the granting of the request, the 2016 manifesto of my party, the New Patriotic Party, pledged to facilitate the creation of 4 regions from the Western, Brong-Ahafo, Northern, and Volta. Upon assumption of office, I received a petition dated 6 June 2017 from the Joint Consultative Committee, JCC, of the chiefs and people of the northern part of the Volta region, demanding the creation of a new region out of the existing Volta region. I've been made to understand that the same geographical areas outlined in the 1970, 1996, and 2003 petitions from the JCC are the same as presented in the 2017 petition. A clear indication of consistency on the part of the JCC. After receiving the petition, in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution of the Republic, in Article 5(2)(a), I forwarded on 26 June 2017 to the Council of State for its advice. And on 15th August 2017, the Council, after painstaking thorough deliberations, came to the conclusion that the petition had merit, and thus advised that a commission of inquiry be established to determine whether or not there was a need and substantial demand for the creation of the proposed OT region. The public hearings conducted by the 9-member Broby Commission, led by the eminent jurist, the retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Mr. Justice S.A. Broby, were well attended, with the 874 contributions